Hello, welcome to the Housing UVA Housing webinar on choosing a language house. We have 3 language houses available here at UVA, and my name is Countess Hughes. I'm the Assistant Director of Housing for Housing Assignments, and I'm going to tell you all about them. Our language houses are residential living plus. They are convenient locations close to classes. They're a particularly tight-knit and diverse community. There's close faculty interaction. There's an ability to deepen your cultural understanding. And most importantly, you'll be able to improve your language skills through total language immersion. Well, let's get started and find out about our language houses. We have a French house, a Spanish house, and then Shea House. Shea House has multiple languages, what we'll talk about when we talk specifically about the Shea House. The French house, the Behringer Mansion. It has many and variety of options. Almost all of the rooms in the French house look a little bit different, but there are single and double rooms. So these floor plans are just examples. Not all doubles look like this and not all singles are set up like that, but it's just an example. Our language houses, including the French house, are located on JPA, right near the University Hospital, and just across the street from Cabell Hall in the Lawn, and right next to Now Hall. Here's the beautiful French house, the Behringer Mansion. They have a great staircase right as you walk in the front door. Here's an example of a single room. One of the lounges. The kitchen. All right, the Shea House is just 2 doors down from the French house on JPA. Again, close to the University Hospital, as well as the Lawn, Cabell Hall, and Now Hall. Shea House has singles and doubles as well. Language examples that have been in the Shea House include Arabic, American Sign Language, or ASL, Chinese, German, Hebrew, Hindi and Urdu, Italian, Japanese, Korean, Persian, and Russian. Here's a picture of the outdoor patio right outside of the dining hall in front of the Shea House. A double room in Shea, and you can see an example of both an elevated bed and a lowered bed, your choice. And again, an up-close view of half of a double room. One of the many lounges in Shea House. And here's a picture of the Shea dining hall. The Spanish house is right in between the French house and the Shea House, again on JPA. The Spanish house has doubles and singles. Here's the outside of the Spanish house. An example of the room with the furniture included in the Spanish house. One of the lounges that is outside the rooms and the bathrooms. You can see the room in the background and then also the bathroom in the background. One of the larger lounges that's downstairs in the Spanish house. Kitchen. All right, enough of me. Why don't we hear from our language house friends all about their specific language house? Remember, some of the pictures and video clips you will see show pre-COVID traditions and events that we hope to offer once again after the COVID pandemic has ended. Please note that we make sure that all of our events are safe and in compliance with university guidelines.
Bonjour. Hello, potential French House applicants. My name is Professor Gear. I'm the director of the French House at the University of Virginia, as well as a faculty member in the French department. And I just wanted to talk to you very briefly about why the French House is such a unique living learning environment at the university and what some of our programs are, as well as what we're looking for in applicants. So the French House is a It's actually the largest French house of its kind in the United States. There are 27 students who choose to live in a house together where they speak entirely in French, which is just absolutely remarkable. And so the French house is a really unique place to live, partly because you can really improve your French in a way that you don't get to do inside the classroom. Because inside the classroom, you're often having kind of formal discussions about texts or ideas or discussion points. Whereas at the French house, you get to practice your French in a much more everyday way. So you may find yourself being like, I actually have no idea how to ask which cupboard the whisk is in. It's a totally easy thing to talk about in French, but maybe you haven't really practiced very much in the classroom. Whereas at the French house, that's the kind of conversational, everyday French that you're going to practice with other students, as well as with a native speaker. So the French department always hires a native speaker from France to come live in the French house with you and to serve as a resource for speaking French. So that's just such an amazing opportunity that you can speak French every single day with a native speaker as well as with other students. Some of our special programs, we have a weekly Pause Cafe. Hopefully, if you're applying to the French House, you've already had a chance to attend the Pause Cafe. Although this year's been a bit different, the Pause Cafe has been online on Zoom. Normally, we invite community members, other students involved in French classes, just anyone in the Charlottesville and UVA community who speaks French to come to the French House, share a coffee, share a snack, and just enjoy the pleasure of French conversation. So we do that once a week. French House residents are very much invited and expected to be active participants in the Pause Cafe. And then we also do a weekly Cine Club, which, again, hopefully if you're applying, you've already had a chance to experience that, although it's been on Zoom this year. But that's where we select a French film to watch each week and then discuss. So that's a really wonderful opportunity to immerse yourself even further in French and Francophone culture and language, and also connect with other people who are interested in those issues or in those topics. And then at the French House, there are also events that happen just kind of throughout the semester. So we partner with the Alliance Française of Charlottesville, which is a local chapter of an international organization devoted to French and Francophone culture and French speaking. We partner with them to do events. They have a kids club that a lot of times we'll invite over to the French House to make crepe. So that's really fun. We'll also partner with other student organizations on grounds. And then the French House residents also organize events just for the French House residents, where you'll go to Carter's Mountain and go apple picking, but speak French while you're doing it, which is just a really, really wonderful opportunity. The French House tends to be a very close-knit community because there's only 27 students that live there. And so some of the expectations around living at the French House is that you have a strong desire to participate in that close-knit community. So there's a requirement that you attend dinners, community dinners twice a week at the French House where you speak French. But those are really, really important moments because those are the moments when you get to know the other students who share a love of French and Francophone culture. And that's where a lot of friendships are formed, friendships that last far beyond the time that you'll live at the French House. So there's the 2 weekly dinners, and then there's also the requirement that students participate actively in committees, and there are several different committees. There's one that helps recruit and select new residents of the French House. There's another one that organizes social events, and then there's another one that organizes kind of French or Francophone cultural events, as well as also, of course, a cooking and dinner committee, because that's just so French, is to eat together and share meals. So that's what I have to say about the French House. If you haven't, I'm not in the French House right now. I'm at my house in my basement, but the French House is a gorgeous 200-year-old house that's right on the corner of JPA, close to Student Health. I encourage you to find some pictures of it. You can find pictures on the French department website. Or if you're in Charlottesville, walk by. It's a beautiful, beautiful old house that's just vibrantly full of life. The students who are dedicated to speaking and learning French together. I encourage you to apply. I look forward to meeting you in our interview process and look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Alex Smithback and I am a student employee at Shea House at UVA, a language community, a unique language community. So I want to tell you a little bit about why it's unique. And so you may be familiar with the German or the French house. We're located next to them in between those two language houses and the Elson Student Health Center. So great location. But what makes us different is that we don't have one language, we have many. Since I've been here, we had 8 languages the first year I worked at Shea. And we call those groups of languages language pods. So when you live at Shea, you spend a lot of time with your language pod. That includes other student residents like you, and one LA language assistant, also a student, almost always an undergrad, but sometimes a graduate student. And that's someone who is either a native speaker of the language you are studying or someone who is very proficient in it. And they're not your teacher or anything like that. They're just kind of there as a guide and to help assist you in your learning. And that's one of the important things is that living at Shea is going to provide you with so much opportunity to use the language. As a language teacher myself, it's just impossible to have enough time in the classroom to work on usage. And not everybody can go abroad to the country for various reasons. Right? So this is a very good opportunity to improve your language in a way that's not possible any other way and without leaving the country. Right? So that's very important. Some of the other things that make Shea special is that we have an in-house kitchen where meals are made for us 4 nights a week, and that's one of everybody's favorite parts. Right? So you eat dinner with your language pod, you all speak in the language, you have a weekly what we call language corner, which is an opportunity for the LA to share something particular about the language, about the culture. These can be games, all kinds of different activities. Right? These are not classes. It's very important. Though at the same time, you can get up to 2 course credits living at Shea, kind of an added bonus. All right. In addition to the dinners and the language corners, we also have big semester events that each language pod puts on. And oftentimes, pods kind of interact with each other, right? If one language pod's putting on a semester event, people from another pod might come. That's another thing we try to emphasize. Is cross-cultural sharing of information, experience, knowledge, things like that. And that's why we're all under one roof. Right? Some other things that usually interest students. It's a 4-story building. And most of the rooms are doubles, though there are some singles. Your pod will kind of generally be in one part of the building together. There's lots of open space, communal space in the building. That's what it's made for, people interacting. But you also have your own private spaces.
My name is Joe Chen, and I am the language assistant for the Chinese floor in Shea House. My experience with Shea House began in 2019 when I lived here as a resident. Being someone who has experienced both perspectives of this community, I view Shea House as a program that integrates fun, diversity, and education all into one. At Shea, you are able to learn about topics that are not covered in a classroom setting, such as pop culture, popular trends, and slangs, along with so much more. You also have the opportunity to use your target language in everyday activities with people who share the same linguistic passions as you do. Living at Shea will definitely give you a better understanding of your target language and culture.
If you have any questions, talk to someone in your department. Talk to me. My email is mam3bu@virginia.edu, or go to our website. We've got a new website up and running, and you can find that at uva.theopenscholar.com/Shea. Hope to hear from you soon.
Hello, my name is Ignacio Gnian. I am soon to be a third-year medical student here at our medical school, and I'm also the in-house director at the Spanish House. And so I've been asked to speak briefly on what our program is like. And so I'm going to do that, but I'm doing it in Spanish because, well, it is the Spanish House. Así que, bueno, mis amigos me dicen Nacho, vengo de Argentina, y el programa en sí es un buen programa, a mí me parece, ¿no? Nos juntamos dentro de la Casa Bolívar para generar un ecosistema donde la gente puede vivir y practicar el español juntos, ¿no? Es un estilo de clase, se junta con tu convivencia y acá en la casa nos gustaría poder tener una variedad de diferentes culturas, de diferentes países donde vengas, de estados donde vengas, con backgrounds de donde sea, ¿no? Y poder juntarse y practicar el español, practicar diferentes formas de vivir, diferentes culturas, comidas, músicas, lo que sea, poder compartir historias, lo que sea. Y entonces para eso tenemos el programa que ayuda a mover eso y generar un poco más de conversación, y el programa está basado en que nos dividimos en comités, ¿no? La casa supone que ahora tiene 14, pero nos gustaría tener más residentes, pero nos dividimos en 3 y hay un comité para música, por ejemplo, que lo eligen ellos, pero después hay un comité para temas culturales, hay un comité de cine, ¿no? Y en los comités se juntan una vez cada dos semanas, charlan sobre el tema que hayan elegido, que quieren hablar, y también a la vez generan eventos para la casa en sí, en abierto, donde una vez por mes o cada tanto nos juntamos todos juntos y ahí podemos cenar juntos, almorzar juntos, si estamos escuchando algún tema, charlamos todos, y así tenemos como mini eventos a través del semestre donde nos juntamos más seguidos. Ahora con la pandemia estamos un poco más limitados en el person to person, pero nos gustaría poder ir abriendo más la casa porque tiene una capacidad de casi el doble de lo que estamos ahora. La casa en sí está bien localizada, si no la has visto, estás ahí al lado de JPA, en el medio de todo. Tiene 4 pisos, varias piezas que son para 2 personas y también hay piezas individuales. Tenemos una grande cocina, un buen living room y bueno, la casa a mí me resulta cómoda, y a los chicos de lo que me cuentan también los residentes está cómoda. Y el programa, ni bien no requiere tanto en temas de volumen como una clase normal, está hecho para que lo que vos le pongas el programa te devuelva, ¿no? Si te gustaría vos juntarte a la casa y tenés alguna idea de algún tema que tu comité quisiera hacer, te lo invitamos. Nos gustaría poder avanzar más, cosas que a ustedes les resulte más de dar buen provecho, ¿no? Entonces, esa es la idea de la casa, es de poder juntar a varias gente de diferentes lugares, poder darle un lugar donde vivir y un lugar donde poder practicar el español. Y bueno, para aplicar les recomiendo que sigan la aplicación de Housing y ahí les pedimos que den un breve ensayo donde explican por qué quieren vivir en la casa, qué cosas pueden dar a la casa y la casa darle a ustedes, y que demuestren su capacidad de poder hablar en español para poder comunicarse con el resto. Después, luego, si hay muchas aplicaciones, haremos una breve entrevista para poder elegir a los que mejores se junten a la casa, en temas de que si hay un límite de cantidad de habitaciones. Pero por ahora, cuando la pandemia se arregle, habrá varias camas para poder llenar y nos gustaría poder llenar la casa para poder estar en full mode. Y bueno, les recomiendo que visiten nuestros sitios en Facebook o si ponen en Google, ponen ahí Casa Bolívar, van a ver que está nuestro sitio, y que pregunten a los que han vivido ahí, que me parece que les ha gustado, es una buena experiencia y nada, a mí me parece que es una buena experiencia. Así que bueno, chao.
Welcome back from your Language House adventures. Now that you're excited, let me tell you how to apply. If you're a current or a new potential resident for the language houses, the application opened on January 5th, and the deadline to complete the application is January 28th. Don't forget to complete the housing application as well as the supplemental applications required by each of the language houses, which can be found on the housing portal. Do not miss the January 28th deadline. With things to remember about our language houses, they all have a meal plan requirement, and there is an activity fee that supports their programming. And you have to speak the language in the house. There is also an academic component to living in the house. And as always, entering into a UVA housing agreement is identical to signing an apartment lease. It is legal and binding. The application submitted by new residents as well as returning residents are reviewed by committees within each language house. Residents who are accepted are assigned to their rooms by the staff of the language houses. Next up, so if you're still continuing on your housing journey and still looking at what options you might have for the academic year 21-22, be sure to check out our undergraduate upper class housing options on our website. If you're thinking about off grounds, check out our off grounds housing website so you can see some options that are available to you off grounds. And don't forget about our other housing webinars. February 2nd, there'll be a webinar specifically for rising second year housing options. On February 9th, we'll talk to you about our apartments and our hallway style residence halls. Our apartments are Bice, Bond, Copley, Faulkner, and Lambeth. And then JMW, which are Johnson, Malone, and Whedon, are our hall-style traditional residence halls available for upper class students. On February 16th, we'll talk about our off-grounds housing options, and that'll be followed by a virtual off-grounds housing fair on February 17th from noon to 2 a.m., where you'll have an opportunity to interact virtually with some of the off-grounds housing properties and areas. If you have questions, please make sure to drop in and ask me any of your questions during my Zoom office hours. Those office hours are from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. every Tuesday and Friday in January and February. And the dates are on the slide. No appointment necessary. Just pop into the waiting room. I'll admit you as soon as I'm available, and I'm happy to ask any of your questions. I'm happy to answer any of your questions about housing room selection. If you have questions specifically about the language houses, you should check out their specific websites or contact a language house staff member. Their information is available on the slide. And finally, if you have questions just about regular housing, not specific to language houses, feel free to contact us or take a look at our housing website, contact us by phone, talk to your RA or SR if you currently live on grounds, and make sure to join us for our future housing webinars. Have a great day. Thanks for joining me.